This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Bill Bailey is headed our way. He's bringing his Thoughtifier show. We got the opportunity to catch up with him before we went on a break. Sean was still here.
Yeah, so this isn't Shaun live from Bali.
No. No. And there's a couple of parts of this because we had a great chat to Bill Bailey. Let's have a listen.
Hello.
Hello, Bill.
Ah, there you are. Bill
Hi.
Bailey. What a pleasure.
Oh, thank you very much.
Really wealthy right now.
Oh, really?
Are you in a tomb?
It does look like a tomb. You're right. There's artifacts behind you, Bill.
Do you live in a pyramid?
I'm in the British Museum. I'm actually in an exhibit.
There is looking like some artifacts behind you.
Yeah.
Certainly some art pieces.
Have you been on a dig recently?
Yes, I dug these up this morning. Yeah.
What are they, Bill?
They're my relatives. There's Auntie Jean there, and then Uncle Frank over there.
Uncle
See, they're
Frank was
diminished.
good.
Does the ears
They're
run
quite
in the
diminished.
I was wondering if the ears run in the family. I don't see them with you, but I do see them on your auntie and uncle there.
Yeah, no, it's a very powerful gene, the ear gene.
The Bailey.
But because they're petrified, I mean, they've been ossified.
Yeah.
And we like to keep them around, you know.
It's nice.
It's a lovely
nice.
touch.
It's like you saw a while there, and it was especially in America. Are you drinking champagne?
Yes, I am.
We forget the time difference. It's breakfast radio
I'm sorry,
here, so we're all
what
up and about.
life are you living right now? If you get someone, if a hand comes out from the screen and feeds you caviar, I'm done.
They say there's no money in comedy. Hello.
This is how I live. Go on.
I was going to talk about how people were getting their pets stuffed in America, and they were doing them like their dog, and then the dog would, and then the dog's paws would hold the remote control.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, right.
So functionally
TV.
stuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's just creepy. That's not right.
you've got your aunt and uncle behind your head. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm just expecting you to pick up a lobster next.
Bill, have you stopped down to chat to us on a night out, or what's going on here?
No. I mean, I'm a living exhibit at the National Gallery. No, I've just been to dinner. I've had a bit of dinner,
Yeah,
and I'm now relaxing at home in my West London home.
Yes, and he thought, what I need to do now is have a nice glass of champagne and talk to some people in Perth. That just makes sense. Your life
Yeah,
makes
exactly.
sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. See?
Another sip.
Hey, what did you order for dinner? What'd you have?
Oh, do you really? Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
100%.
Let's
100%.
do that. No, I went to my local restaurant in my street. It was a fantastic Indian restaurant.
Yeah.
Their concept is like it's Indian railway food. So it's a guy. I don't know if you've ever been on the railways in India.
I have, yes.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
One
it's
has.
like that. So no.
While
it's
you're
not-
eating, are there like 400 people on the roof
Yeah.
as well for the authentic?
That's right.
experience?
You cling to the outside of the building, and they just hand you like naan bread through the window. It's great.
They throw butter chicken in your general direction.
Yeah, that's it. You just have to grab what's going. They just chuck it out the window. The gravity just sends it into the face. No. It's a lovely little spot. So yeah, I'm supporting a local restaurant.
The first time I had Indian food was actually when I went to London, because before then, when I was growing up, when my mum would make anything, it looked like a stew. So I
Yes.
thought Indian food was like a stew, and I
Well,
went, no.
essentially it is, but yeah, just with more spices and
Yeah,
flavour.
until you're going to London, you go,
Yeah.
oh my God, this
Yeah,
is
they've
bloody
nailed
beautiful.
it. I know. My mum made one
It's
curry
proper.
and it had no heat in it. There's nothing. There was not even an ounce of warmth, but it did have coconut and sultanas in it. Though.
In our house, we had no cultural food coming in at
Yes.
all. In my house, growing up, Bill, a treat for us was mince on toast. And let me give you the ingredients. You get mince, you cook it,
Yes.
and then you put it on toast.
Oh,
Are you
all
writing
right.
this down?
Pretty straightforward. I like that. So I thought when you said mince, I thought you meant like, peppermint. So
No.
that'd be
No.
quite weird. But minced meat,
Yeah.
minced beef.
Yeah,
Yeah.
minced beef.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear Lord.
Yeah.
That's pretty basic. No, I mean, my
He's a
mum.
basic bitch. Don't worry.
Yeah. Do you know what, though? We did have the curry when I was growing up was very much like that. My mum put, raisins in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, what? And also, she would slice banana over it in case it was too hot.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
And
okay.
Take the heat out of
desiccated
it.
coconut, yeah.
Does
I love
banana
it.
take the heat out of a curry?
Well, there was no heat in it anyway, was there, Bill?
No.
You know why? Because you won't be worrying
No.
about. You won't be thinking about why it's so hot. You'll be thinking, why am I eating banana?
With a curry.
The only
I
heat
know.
came from Keen's curry powder. That was it, and there was no
I don't
heat in that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know why there was this myth going around that banana somehow would it's like the asbestos of food. It would somehow insulate the food.
It
You know,
sounds
you
like-
never see, oh, there's a fire. Quick, get a banana. Fire.
Yeah, put the blanket
was
down. That's
never
not
a
going to do
thing.
anything.
It sounds
5
like it was
bananas.
just a sneaky way to make you eat some fruit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, you're right.
This is the Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Time for the rest of our chat with the incredible Bill Bailey.
So, Bill, you're coming down here again. Like we
Yes.
spoke to you a couple of times last year, or certainly last year,
Yes.
after your last tour. So the crowds are loving your work. You can't get
They
enough
are.
of coming
He's
down
amazing.
to WA.
I'd love it. No, I just genuinely love the crowds there. I always have fun there, and you know what? Over the years, you know, it's like it's like when I first started to come to Australia. It was many years ago now, and
Yeah.
and I guess like whenever you come to a new place, people don't know who you are, and it took a while, because I remember the first Melbourne Comedy Festival I came to, and people, I was in the front. People just walk, there's two couples in the front row. I'm clearly, I don't know, they had no idea what I was talking. Not a clue what I was talking about, And then they got up and walked out, and I said, "Oh, sorry, have I offended you?" And then this woman, she nudged her husband, and he went, "Oh, sorry, mate." He goes, "We thought you were the juggler," right? And so, and I guess, you know what I mean? Like, so it's a bit of, it takes a while to build up a crowd, but these days I've been coming to Australia enough times now. People kind of have figured out what I do, and they come to me, which is great. I love it. And
So you've just started
is a
juggling,
perfect
obviously, to keep people happy.
Yeah, I keep the juggling in, but no, it's just juggling with ideas, concepts these days.
Yeah.
So, Bill, it is interesting, the timing of your tours. I think it always seems to be just as the weather turns in London, you think, I've got to go to Australia again. Deliberate, right?
Yes, absolutely right. Exactly. I mean, my tours are based around a barometer, on the wall,
Yes.
just as the temperature starts to drop. Wait a minute, aren't I supposed to be in a different hemisphere? So, it's always great, and it's a lovely time of year to be in Australia. It's great, and my tours there, I'm very fond of the place and you lot and the people, because there's a kind of I think we share a lot of similarities in our humor. There's a kind of a genuine sort of sense of loving of the surreal nature of life, the genuine absurdity of it, and a kind of a healthy skepticism about the higher ups and general authority. And I think we're very similar, and I've always found that over the years. So it's a great place to come.
Are
and
you
tour. I love
finding
it.
that wokeness is coming into comedy too much?
There is a bit, yeah. I mean, I think the thing is that it's like we adapt, and comedy adapts, and society adapts, and comedy is very fluid. It's very mercurial, and it will just flow around wherever it needs to find, an outlet. And I think that it doesn't necessarily mean that things are restricted by it. We just, we find other ways to get to the funny.
Yeah.
So I don't see it as an impediment. No.
Yeah.
Bill, I wanted to ask you about the moment you heard that you were dead and had been released somewhere along the line.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well,
Would you like to confirm or deny the rumours?
remember that time when you were dead? Yeah. Yes,
Well, you're in a
years of my
tomb
death.
right now, so we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm dead right now. No, the BBC announced my death on Twitter, as it was then, it was someone else. It was some guy in America called Bill Bailey who died, but the BBC panicked and pressed the Bill Bailey's dead button. I'm assuming they have one.
They had been hovering over it for a while. Yeah.
He's gone. Quick, emergency obit. Anyway, so this photograph appeared on social media with me saying Bill Bailey, comedian, died. And I was like, I was kind of a bit disappointed to the result. You know, the reaction was pretty muted.
There wasn't an outpouring of public grief.
No, I was hoping for more like kind of North Korean, mourners lining the streets, just weeping, gnashing their teeth.
Yeah,
He's
of course.
dead.
David Beckham queuing to see you lying in state.
Oh, that's
kind
right.
of
Of
thing.
course.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Something like there was not a couple of sad face emojis. That's it.
They had
Not
that.
a great
They had
deal.
those, one of the plots for an episode of Schitt's Creek. Moira Rose.
Yeah.
They announced that she's dead, and she's not, of course. And then the thing that surpasses her death notice is a giraffe and a kitten that were best friends. The giraffe stood on the kitten and killed it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly that was the biggest death news of the day over her.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
did you have to
Never
call
mind.
the BBC and say, hey, just so
Proof
you
of
know,
life.
I'm fine?
And do you get an apology?
I'm fine. No, nothing. I got nothing. They just kind of took it down quietly. But in the meantime, loads of people phoned me up to get in touch. That was a weird thing. Like my family phoning me. Are you okay? Well, I'm not dead, so that's
I
fine,
answer.
right?
Where were you when you found out you were dead?
Well, I was on tour. I was in a hotel room, and my tour manager texted me, and he goes, I've just seen that you're dead.
We've got a show to do.
Yeah. Are you going to be? And I went, no, I'm. It's just a conversation. No, I'm okay. And I posted out. I said, for those of you coming to the show tonight, I'm okay. The tickets are still valid.
It's like it's weekend at Bernie's.
At least they care,
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah.
You got people contacting you, so you'd imagine they cared. Otherwise, they're just looking for, okay, can we move into his house?
Yeah, but
Are we in the will?
a bunch of them were only caring if they're getting a refund. I'm sure, to be honest.
That's right. Exactly. So like, can I get the tickets? Can I get the money back? I mean, that was it. That was the sort of. That's the reality. I think we all have to deal with that. It was quite chastening in many ways.
Yeah.
It was like, people are just going to move on. Oh, never mind. Bad face.
Once they
Anyway,
get their refund.
I got my money back. I spent the money.
Well, we're glad you're still alive, Bill, and
Yeah.
coming to Australia. Bill hits our shores at the end of October, so he'll be playing Riverside Theatre Saturday, the 2nd of November. But if you don't want to go there, if you want to get away for the weekend, you could go and see him at the Mandurah Performing Arts Centre on the 31st of October, or in Bunbury on the
that'd be
30th
nice.
of October. Tickets
Yeah.
from Bone Presents, that's BOHMpresents.com. Thank you so much for talking to us, Bill. This is fresh from the National Museum. It's a delight.
Bill Bailey, not dead.
Not
dead.
dead.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks,
Bye, buddy.
Bill.
Thank you.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean in podcast form.
Oh, yes. It's a very pertinent song.
I don't think he wants to ride it anymore.
No, Greg Hire, of course, has been riding at 3,249 kilometres from Kununurra to Perth for a stitch in time at Riding for Hope. It's the last leg. Greg Hire, good morning.
Good morning, crew.
You've nearly made it, Greg.
Greg,
It's so
I
close.
know.
are you okay?
There's a range of emotions. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
If you probe me a bit too much, I'll more than likely cry. You know
Yes.
me, Nathan.
I know. Well, you've achieved something amazing, Greg, but let's talk about your body first. Which part of you hurts the most?
Oh, I don't even know. Yesterday, last few days, I got sensation back in my hands. That was nice.
Congratulations. Well done.
But I can't hold things for longer than.
So no grip strength, but you can
no,
feel.
like-
I bet
Brittle.
you get
It's
home to
like-
Ainsley quickly,
yeah,
hey?
Yeah.
I'll have to drink milk for the next
Yeah.
6 months excessively. So dairies, if you need a brand ambassador to rejuvenate me,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Now,
But my legs are just
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mate. Yeah.
Do you reckon you've done any permanent damage, Greg?
I reckon I have, actually. Like my gait,
Yeah.
I look like...
you're walking like a cowboy. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah, it's like yesterday. Someone asked me. 2 days ago, I was at a function in Moira, and I'll put it kindly. A guy goes, "You look like absolute
Yes.
ending with T. And I go, thanks for the honesty, mate. I really needed a pump up. And he goes, you look tired. You look weathered. I go, hey,
I'm just ridden a
thank you.
bike from Kununurra.
But I've got a tan. I'll take that.
Yeah, silver
I
lines.
never thought. Yeah, I never thought I could tan, so I'll take that. So.
Hey, Greg.
Greg, I saw that while you were riding from Geraldton down, the wind really hit you, didn't it? I mean, there's those trees that lie down because it's so windy up there. What was it like for you?
If there was a moment where I could step off the bike and kick it in half, that was it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the whole experience of that day, those 3 days were brutal in a sense. So my normal bike had a puncture and I couldn't change the tyre.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a smaller bike. I honestly felt like I was...
Like a tricycle?
honestly, I felt like I was a monkey at the circus. I was riding a
But in
girl
howling wind.
bike. And it was so bad. And then, because it's everyone's school holidays and tourist season, I did get run off the road by a road train. So,
Yes.
I just went off, ended up in the gravel, and then there was, just people howling abuse, giving me the bird. And I was just like, this isn't it. And it was only a small day, it was 72 Ks.
Yes.
And I went, this is a good recovery ride.
Yeah.
I was absolutely spent. That was the worst day, that you could have. And that wind was just... next level.
Unrelenting. And so crosswind or headwind?
Yeah, headwind.
Yeah.
There was one time I went up a hill, I got to the top of the hill, I went, this will be beauty. I actually had to pedal as fast as I could to get down it.
The hill. There was no coasting.
It wasn't going anywhere, and I just was like, this is just not fun. If I've always joked around, so Brad Robbins, who's come up with me the majority of the time, he is as negative as you can get. So there'll be some days he'll go, just give up, mate. And I'm laughing.
That would have been me, Greg. Just get back in. Just get back in here. We'll drive home.
Yeah, and he goes, no one will know. And so there's one day he if he said to me that day, hey, let's just green screen it, I would be like, let's green screen it.
That would have been so funny inside the camper van, just a green screen where you just had the bike set up.
Exactly.
So we've heard about the hardest days. For the entire journey, Greg, what was the day where you just go, this is why I'm doing it? Did you have a really special moment?
Well, yesterday, so I've actually, I was riding into Gin yesterday. And then, beautiful day, perfect winds, sunshine was out, and actually, I got to that point, I said, I'm just going to ride home, and I'm going to surprise my kids. So that was the day. I, ended up just coasting the whole way. And to be honest, because prior to 2 days before it, I was sitting there going, I had 2 solid days. We had a bunch of community people come in and ride in as well, and I sort of in a weird way, I was like, I'm sort of I felt like I was cheating it. I was like, I shouldn't be feeling good. I want to be...
You should be feeling good.
No, but I was like, I wanted to finish my last ride where my body is just cactus.
Yeah. But you know what it is, Greg? I think what it is you're realising that what you're doing is having an impact. What you're doing is really positive, and what you're doing you should be really, really proud of.
Yeah, you've raised nearly $60,000 as well, Greg, which is incredible.
Well, it'll be up to 70. We received a bunch of cash donations.
Oh, amazing.
Pledges, so we'll put that up.
Yeah, take that out of Robbo's bag because I'm sure he's screwed that away.
But no, and I think the most, my son came up and
yes,
I think that was just a really special day, the very first day of him coming in and me being in the back and him just giving me a big old cuddle in the RV, as much as, that perspective, and you sort of just, I don't know, those days are special. The figure raised, unbelievable, but I think in terms of, those experiences, those lessons I learned, I think those ones is what I'll be most proud
that's
about.
priceless.
Yeah.
Well, people can still donate, of course.
Yes, they can.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. And also, if you would like to go and welcome Greg in, it'll be happening, is it today, Greg, at 4 p.m. at the Camfield?
Matagara
4
Bridge.
p.m. So I'm in hysterics. So I departed Kununurra in 44-degree heat.
Yes.
And then, I'm riding in today, and it is
19 and showers.
Yeah. I thought of all days, like, just kick me while I'm down. Like, of all things, I've already received three messages, people going, "Oh, mate, I'd love to be there, but it's raining."
I don't know if you know, we might get wet, Greg. We might get wet.
Like, there's a thing called an umbrella. You'll be fine. Like, but that shows how much they like me. One of them's Damien Martin. So,
He's got your back, but only while the sun is shining. It is going to be a great thing to do to welcome Greg home this afternoon. It is an incredible effort. Like, none of us thought you could do it, so well done.
Never in a million years. I still don't believe he has.
And Greg, after 4 o'clock today, when do you think you'll next get on a bike?
Oh, never.
Yeah,
no. I actually think it's funny. Ainsley said, are you already planning the next one? And I was like, am I allowed one? And she's like, yeah, but just pump the brakes for a little bit. I will do one. Oh, mate, it'll be a couple of years, to be honest.
I think that's understandable.
So annually is not right, is it? Not annually.
No,
Every 2 years makes sense.
Correct. Once I get the sensation back in my hands and I can walk properly, that's when I'll partake in affiliation.
Look, the link to donate is in Greg's bio on Instagram, so check that out and head down and see him come home 4 o'clock this afternoon at the Canefield. And you're going to ride across Madagarrett Bridge?
Yes, that'll be the last little stint.
Yeah.
So
wheelie the whole way.
Yeah, go on.
A wheelie the whole way.
No hands. Could you imagine
no
hands and stacking it at the very end?
Yeah,
it'd be great.
And then falling in the river. It'd be
great.
amazing.
Proud of you, Greg.
You've done an amazing
effort. You've done such a good job.
Yeah, incredible.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Good on you. Thanks, Greg.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We got the opportunity to catch up with the one, the only Bruce McAvaney ahead of his involvement in the telecast tomorrow. He was up and about. Let's have a listen.
I'm going well. No, it's pretty excited about tomorrow. Should be a great match, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's grand final eve must still feel like Christmas Eve to you, does it?
It does. It does. And it's going to be good weather and everyone's up and about. So, no, it's a good one, I think. They're always good ones. They're great. It's a great week. The whole thing's beautiful.
Do you have any questions for Shaun?
Well, I don't, but I feel like, there's always a hard luck story in the grand final. Callum Mills misses out. What's got McInerney? Now we've got Sean McManus.
Yeah, hard luck because he's in Bali. Yeah, he's really suffering.
Actually, I do think it's a pretty soft performance, don't you?
Mate,
wow.
Apparently he's going for the team Bintang, according to what he's wearing.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
My best when you say.
Yeah, it's all right, Bruce. I'm here to pick up the football slack.
Yeah, that's right. When we need a football brain, we look at Nathan Morris.
So, first question, who's playing in the grand final?
This is a good start.
Yeah.
Hey, do you get to meet Katy Perry?
If I do, I'll be thrilled, but I don't think it's on her schedule, but it's on mine, all right?
I feel like you are so synonymous with football. You are football in Australia. How can she be here for the AFL Grand Final and not meet
Surely she's asking to meet you, Bruce. Surely.
Well, if it happens, I'll let you know, okay? And I'll be delighted.
Hey, Bruce, we spoke to Eddie Maguire yesterday, and I read out a comment from the paper. I led it to the editor. This bloke had an idea that it would be great when we have the celebrities that are performing at the at the pre-show before the AFL Grand Final to get them to do the centre bounce. Don't you think that would be hilarious?
Like a ceremonial centre bounce, like a ceremonial first pitch at a Major League Baseball game?
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
That would be. Well, they might do a better job than some of the boys that have been doing it. It is the weirdest thing, but I like. Look, God blimey, I reckon the most nerve-wracking thing for an umpire in the whole season would be the first bounce on grand final.
Imagine, I couldn't do one to save my life.
All the eyes are on you, and it's such a big moment.
And
that
not
if you
only
stuff
that,
it up,
and the possibility of the ball slamming straight back into your face is so high, Bruce, so high. Yeah.
What I do want to know, Bruce, is what prompted you to come out of retirement? Because, we got used to the idea of you not being around, and now you're back again. It was like a break in case of emergency.
I love it.
What was the phone call that got you back behind the mic?
It's a good question, and I've asked myself this a few times.
Yeah.
I got the head of sport so I've had a change in the head of sport and the head of footy. They spoke to me about a week into the finals and said, "Macca, would you be interested in doing the opener for the grand final and maybe being involved a bit. And I said, let me have a think. And then they came back before I had a think and said, look, we'd also like you to be involved with the prelim finals. And I just thought the timing was right. I'm feeling good. Haven't done it for a while, obviously. A bit of a changing landscape next year with the footy world in Melbourne with the media. I just thought the timing was right. So I said, yeah. I also thought, look, truthfully, if I say no, they're not going to ask me again, and I still feel like I want to be part of it. So, I was last weekend, and it was very enjoyable, very different because you're not calling, but you still feel a big part of it. So I'm excited about being involved tomorrow. I really am. So,
and can we thaw out Dennis as well then? Get the old duo back together?
I'd love that. I'd love that. I would. I'm going to make sure I speak to him today, but I would love that.
You know, it's really good that you're still excited to do it. We have a thing here that we a sort of an unofficial rule, and that is if someone wants to book us for something a couple of months in advance to have a check-in with the future Nathan or the future Nat and see if she actually wants to do it. But, like, you are still up and about. Like, are you still doing all of your study and stuff beforehand? What do you have to do?
Yeah, it's pretty much, Nathan. Not quite at the same...
Because you know everything, don't you?
Level. No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I thought you just know everything.
Well, you don't know everything, but you know more than everybody else.
Yeah, so I don't see what study would be necessary.
Oh, God, I love you too. You're going to write the CV for my next job interview. Look, I go about it pretty similarly. You don't have to quite fill in all the spaces because I'm not calling, you're not doing all the narrative of everything. But, there's a similar thing. And, look, these two teams, they've all got great stories, these guys, and what seasons they've had, and they've sort of come from different ends. Sydney made the running early. They're the best team for most of the year. And now Brisbane have charged into the grand final. So it's going to be a hard one to pick, I think.
Hey, can we just push the grand final aside for a second? I want to speak about something here that's been happening in WA for the last 12 months, and that thing is Harley Reid. Is Harley Reid, in your opinion, what is Harley Reid to football? What is he going to be?
He's certainly one of the most exciting talents we've seen in a long time because not only is he a great footballer, he's sort of got that swagger off the field as well.
Yeah.
So I think in, as long as things continue to go ahead as we expect they will, and he'll continually get a little better and even stronger, I think he's the next big thing in football. He is the next big thing in football already in Perth, but I think on a national scale, somebody asked me last week, who's the superstar of the game? In recent years we've had, Dusty Martin and Buddy Franklin have probably been the two that jump at you. There's lots of others. But Harley Reid's the one in waiting, I think. So I think he's only a couple of years away from being probably be the most interesting player in the national competition.
Wow.
He's already that in Perth. Can't do anything without being on the back or front page.
Yes, or both.
And I think that's probably 2 or 3 years away from that being national. So I think he's got an incredible future. His first season has been remarkable, and I think we're all very excited to see how it all ends up.
Would you go so far as to say he's special?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I just wanted to hear you say it, Bruce. Did you just say it?
No, you have to pay for that, Natalie. You have to pay per minute for Bruce to ring you personally and say special.
And Nathan, not only can you write the CV, you could be my next manager.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, it's going to be a big day. We know that, obviously. I guess we better get a prediction for you. Can Brisbane get it done? They were runners-up last year, so they've been in and around there. But Sydney were so dominant early on in the season. What's going to happen?
Nat, I really don't know. And I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going to get a splinter because I think this is so close to call. Both of them have got compelling arguments. They're great to watch. I just want it to be close, and I think it will be. I don't know about you guys. I like both these teams. I like watching them. I reckon they're really exciting teams to watch. So I feel like there'll be a smile on most people's... Unless you're rusted on Swan or a rusted on Lion, I think for a lot of Australia, they're just going to sit back, watch it, enjoy it, and have a smile at the end of the day. And
football's going to be the winner.
Yeah, that's it, Natalie. Football is going to be the winner.
Brisbane seemed to me to know how to win, like from seemingly impossible, deficits and that sort of thing. They've been finding a way to win the whole way through, and that I think might hold them in good stead.
It won't hurt, and those last 2 weeks have been remarkable. But from the Swans' point of view, they did something similar against GWS.
Yeah,
and then
that's true.
They turned a game around against Collingwood about 6 weeks ago that was so important in the last quarter. So I think both teams at three-quarter time, if the scores are within 3 or 4 goals, we'll have a belief, and that's going to be great for the game, I think.
Yeah.
Because I do think it'll come down to the last 10 minutes.
Oh, we're going to have to wind this up because this is costing us $5.95 per minute. So the budget doesn't stretch that far, Bruce.
Bruce, it's an absolute joy to catch up with you. The coverage starts on 7 Plus in HD from 5 a.m. our time tomorrow morning. Bounce out at 12:30, of course. Bruce, it's like speaking to royalty. Thank you for joining us today.
Bruce.
My pleasure. Hey, Nathan, just let me know where to send the invoice.
I got you. I
Will
got
do.
you.
Thanks, Bruce.
Bye, buddy.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun podcast.
We're joined now by, I think, national treasure. Doesn't go too far.
His name is Edward Maguire.
Eddie Maguire, ahead of hosting the My Room Grand Final Spectacular live at 7:30 tonight on Channel 9 and 9 Now. Good morning, Ed.
Good on you, Nathan and Nat. And how are you, Shaun? Great to talk to you in grand final week.
It is unbelievable, Eddie. So look, you can't help when you get sick, right? But Shaun got sick recently, and that was during the Olympics when we had so many sports interviews on, and now the grand final week is in Bali.
On long service leave. Ed, would you have been granted a week of long service leave in the lead up to a grand final at any point?
Well, I wouldn't have asked for a start, but what? He's not there. I mean, look, I know he's from Fremantle, so grand finals don't win large, but seriously, look, I'll tell you what we'll do. If you need me to come on as your sports boy, I'm happy to come on and help you guys.
Eddie
Well,
Maguire,
we need all the help we
sports
can,
boy.
mate, because at the moment in this building, the sports boy is me. And that's a real problem.
I do front up at Olympics and grand finals, so there's the head start.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Eddie, were you born an Edward? You're an Edward?
I am an Edward, yes, indeed.
When
Yes.
did we transition from...
E.G. Maguire, named after my father.
Were we ever an Edward? Like, did you ever live as an Edward? Were you an Ed?
Probably only if I was naughty, but probably at my baptism, and then I've been Ed or Eddie since, yeah. So, or hey you. One of those three.
Eddie, I was in Melbourne over the weekend just gone and a bit of last week. Did I see, because, we don't normally see it here, but is your son a sports reporter now?
Yes. So my son won the Clinton Grivers Award for the AFL Media's Rising Star,
Yes.
but he's now studying at St Andrews in Scotland. So he's going over there, he's doing politics, philosophy and economics, and then he'll come back and he'll probably continue his career somewhere in the media there. And my other son's the starting punter for Ohio State University in America, the number 1, 2 or 3 ranked college team. So he's playing this week in front of 105,000 people. So, they're both boys. They've left me. So I'm going to do the
amazing.
old mental as anything. If you leave me, can I come too?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go and see them.
Well, St Andrews is where Prince William went and met Kate Middleton.
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, that's, we're royalty from Broadmeadow.
Yes, you are. Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Not quite. I think we
Crown
left
Prince.
there because of, might have had to leave Ireland and Scotland because of Republican tendencies. But anyway, we're back.
That's amazing. You've got very high achieving children. That's not bad.
Well, they're good boys despite their father. They've done well, obviously, following in Mum's lead. But no, they're going great guns. But yeah, Xander spent the last period of time working on 9 News, which might sound because he's old man's at 9.
Nepo
but no,
baby.
he's, except he keeps winning everything, and he's a pretty good boy in his own right. So yeah, he's over there. They don't know me at St Andrews, so he's living his own life these days.
Someone over there would know Eddie Maguire.
Yeah, I tell you what, Ed, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because I looked at him and saw the name and went, well, there's no doubt that he's your son, because you look exactly the same.
He does. I mean, I'm. It's funny. I started Channel 10 when I was 17, so they've got plenty of shots of me when I was around his age, and people do make the point that he sounds a bit like me and looks like me, which is always reassuring for a father, because as Lou Richards used to say, you're certainly sure who your mother is, but there's always a level of doubt, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt in the case of
Whenever
Xander,
anyone says that I look like my dad, if he hears it, turns around and goes, and laughs at me like I've been insulted. And I'm like, but they're talking about your face, Dad. Hey, so what's happening with My Room Grand Final Spectacular live tonight? What's happening?
Yeah, well, it's going to be fantastic. We have got the biggest names. I mean, we're going to have the opening up. When we walk out tonight, you'll see Marcus Bontempelli, Patrick Cripps, Nick Dacos. We'll have Cody Waitman from the Western Bulldogs. Cody Simpson, who's singing the national anthem on Saturday, will be our special guest, the superstar swimmer and international acting sensation. He'll be raising millions of dollars for the kids with cancer at My Room. and we know just how great the Perth telethon is on Channel 7. So we're going to do something, pretty good here on, pretty much the eve of grand final with the public holiday tomorrow. Billy Brownless and some of the biggest names in football, the Sunday Footy Show panel previewing the game. So tonight's a beauty. We're going to do it at 7:30, so good time for the families to sit around and go, right, let's get stuck into the grand final, let's enjoy ourselves and have some fun.
Yeah, it is all about, raising money and having a bit of fun, which we appreciate. Yep. Ed, I've noticed, like, normally post-season and, after the main home and away season, everyone's talking about trade and the movements of players. This is the first year I can remember that there's been so much talk about the movement in the media, the people jumping ship from one network to another, and rumours that Caroline Wilson's going here and they're going there. Can you remember a year when there's been so much movement in the media?
Oh, well, going back in time when Channel 7 tried to raid the Footy Show, that was pretty volatile and exciting. But there's a bit going on at the moment. But, as you say, to use the football vernacular, we'll get rid of the list cloggers and bring through the new faces. And it's good to see after 18 years, Channel 7 have worked out that this is the show that they should be trying to do. But no, look, it's going to be good. There's going to be good battles next year. I say, fair play to Caro and Hutchie. The opportunities come up for them. Yeah. The media, as you guys know, is a bit more volatile and there's less money around and things like that. So you take your options and go and do things. And what it does is it gives a real opportunity for the next generation. So what we've always done at 9 is we come up with the shows and we come up with the personalities, and we'll do that again on the Monday night. We have the show that I host on the Wednesday, and we've got other big ideas. In fact, we've been looking. We've got shows ready to go, but didn't have any time slots. So it's quite exciting. And look, 7 will do a lot of shows. They've got 7 Plus as their digital network as well, so they're going to be going hard in that. They have the football for the next 8 years, so clearly they're going to invest in it. And look, as we always say, too much football is not enough, is it?
Yeah. Well, don't call Sean. He'll be in Bali.
No, Sean's busy.
Well, there's a spot for Sean if he turns out. We just got to see if
he won't turn up.
That big tank doesn't drink itself.
Hey, Eddie, there was a really funny letter to the editor in the West Australian today from a guy named Harvey Pearce from Queen's Park, and he's got a great idea, and I think you should pitch it to the AFL, and that is the person that is coming doing the show this year. Of course, it's Katy Perry. We should be getting them, like when you see a celebrity do a first pitch at a major baseball game, we should get them to do the centre bounce.
A ceremonial centre bounce. What do you reckon?
It'd be hilarious.
Ray Chamberlain couldn't do it.
No.
How funny would that be every single time? And the people are like rubbish at it.
I'd rather watch that than them toss the coin. Yes. Do you know what I mean?
Well, even to get it to have a kick, you should see them trying to kick the ball as well. Handball's the one that flummoxes them completely.
Yes, that's true.
No idea on a handball. But, I like that. There's a bit of merit. Any opportunity to humiliate an international star.
Don't you think? And it'd go viral. And then I reckon all the celebrities around the world would see if they can try and do a centre bounce, because it's bloody hard.
You can imagine, you can see it happening. Katy Perry striding up to the centre bounce and lining the ball up and going bang, and it ricocheting straight
into her face, and then she sings all the songs of the blood nose.
Now you've got my attention.
There you go.
Yeah, he's on board.
The guy's a genius. In fact, you want to be careful. Channel 7 will make him a producer.
Yeah, that's right. Ed, we better get a prediction. Who do you reckon's going to get up on the weekend?
Look, it is the line ball. I think you have to go with Sydney because they finished the season on top of the ladder. They've been the best team in it, and they've had the best run. They've had the 2 weeks break in between. They've done very well. Had a good hard hit out in the first final. Cleaned up Port Adelaide last week. Other than their captain, Cullen Mills, they're pretty much in pretty good physical condition. The only thing is, talking to Dane Zorko on our show last night on Footy Classified from the Brisbane Lions, he made the point they've come down early. Last year they felt they were a bit rushed and a bit all over the place. And, they're turning up everywhere. Like tonight, Harris Andrews is coming onto the My Room show with us. Sydney is still working out whether they send somebody who might get somebody who's not playing. But they've actually embraced the week. Come down early, trained, just feeling good about it, getting into the spirit of it all. And they've got a real belief, the way they've had come back in their finals. So, it's an interesting one. You get excited about these comebacks. Sometimes you get to the grand final and one team just hits the wall and that's it. So Sydney are primed to be the team that really finishes full of run. But if they can hang it together for one more time, and you never know with Joe Danaher and Eric Hipwood up forward, the crazy gang, who knows which one will turn up, good Joe or bad Joe. Yeah. But as we saw last year, they're a kick away from winning it. I think they've got the best record in football over the last 4 years. So, look, I'll say Sydney, and maybe it'll be a Grundy production with Brodie Grundy winning the Norm Smith medal, my old
that's a
mate from
big call.
the Pies.
Okay.
And, well, if he wins the Norm Smith medal, then Sydney win the grand final.
Yep. All right. And it's going to be a nice sunny day too, 23 and bright sunshine.
Thanks,
so that's
It
good
is,
to
and
see.
hopefully tonight it's going to rain in Melbourne, which means they all stay in and watch my show.
That's right. Check it out. Channel 9 at the My Room Grand Final Spectacular live. Ian McGuire, it's an absolute pleasure. Thanks, mate.
Hey, good on you guys, and I'm still available for any sort of freelance work. If Sean, going somewhere
Well,
else,
mate,
I'm around.
just put in your calendar if there's any big sporting thing coming up, we'll need you then because he won't be here. Thank you so
Nat,
much.
Nat, if I'm busy, I've got a son who can do it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Good to know. Thanks, Eddie.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
The grand final is this weekend, Nathan. I'm not sure if you're aware.
Sean didn't realise that's why he's in Bali. Bali, Brownie. Bali.
Jonathan Brown, hello.
Yes, got you now.
Hey! This is some magical radio. Dave, was that your fault?
It was me.
It was Dave's fault.
Dave, what are you doing, Dave?
Yeah, bring back Harry, we say.
No wonder Sean's in Bali.
Brownie, okay, so how are
What's
you
going on?
feeling? Because obviously, I'm not sure if you've heard, but Brisbane are in the grand final on Saturday. How are you feeling?
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. It's hey, well, tell you what, I've been very active on the circuit.
Yes.
On the I'm going to say cashy circuit because I'm an above board operator. I like to contribute to the tax office because they do wonderful things with our money,
They're
especially
amazing
here in
people.
Victoria.
Yep.
So, it's been a great week, no doubt about it. It's exciting. Thursday, now the teams are in town. Brisbane came to Melbourne yesterday and Sydney arrived this afternoon. So now the teams are in town. It's pretty exciting. I'm going on a date afternoon because my wife has left the children on the Gold Coast. She's come to join me and I said, tell you what, darling, let's go out for a date.
Oh.
She
where
said,
are we
where are you
off to?
taking me?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take you to watch Katy Perry's sound check at the MCG with about 50 other
That's
people.
a good one.
That's good.
That's a good date, isn't it?
Kidding me? That's amazing.
Obviously didn't tell the kids. That'll be a retrospective announcement because you imagine the two girls, especially Olivia and Macy, they'd be asking for $3,000 one-way flights from Queensland to
I know.
Melbourne.
That's crazy.
Hey, Brownie,
isn't it?
do you use wonderful opportunities like this just to remind your missus that why you're with her, why she's with you? Because she gets amazing opportunities like this.
Absolutely, I do, and quite often I'm fond of taking her to my favourite pub in Melbourne, the Royal Derby in Fitzroy. With a lot of Fitzroy supporters there at the moment. And my mural is on the front of the pub. And I've got one rule for life. I often take my wife there and I say to her, my one rule for life is I only drink at pubs where my mural's out the front.
Where you're on the wall. You raise a good
right.
point there. Are Victorians seeing this as a Fitzroy versus South Melbourne grand final?
Yeah, they are, absolutely. Obviously, Queensland and New South Wales have been, obviously Sydney and Brisbane, what they've done for footy up north of the border has been great. And a lot of people have come to town, but there is that real tribalism, tribalistic feel about it because you've still got the Fitzroy supporters and the South Melbourne supporters that are rusted on. And they've got a big supporter base. It's a thriving supporter base here in Melbourne, as we saw Saturday evening there with Brisbane, against Geelong, even though a Victorian team. It was at least half the crowd were Lions supporters, and a lot of those would have been the old Fitzroy heritage.
Well, I can tell you they were. I was at that game, Brownie. And
how good.
Yeah. Mate, what an amazing game to be a part of, especially when you don't have any skin in the game. It was just brilliant just to watch some amazing football. But I was sitting next to an old boy next to me who was there was his grandson, and I said, are you from Brisbane or are you a Fitzroy supporter? And he went, oh, no, Fitzroy. I'm a Fitzroy through and through. And they were obviously absolutely wrapped. But the kids who would have been, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10, turned to me and said, and Brownie, maybe you can tell me if this is an insult or not. He said to me, you look like Cam Rayner. What do you reckon?
Cam Rayner.
Cam Rayner.
Cam
Rayner.
He's a player.
No, he's a star, but Cam Rayner's a very good-looking
Thank you.
man.
He's got curly, I think it was the curly hair, because my hair was curly.
Yeah.
So, I think that might have been
he's got some feminine qualities about him as well.
No. He's got a very
in a nice way.
He's got a pretty face.
a pretty face. He's got a pretty face, and I tell you what, he's a bull though out in the field.
Yeah,
He's a
I know.
machine.
Well, that's
He's
what
a
they're
great
referring to,
second-
Natalie. She's a bull out in the field.
Absolutely. Well, exactly right. She likes the hard ball gets.
Yeah, exactly. It's the 1%.
Likes to get in and under, get her hands dirty. I got a special place in my heart for Cam Rayner because he wears my old footy number.
There you
number
go.
16. So
Yeah.
I was able to hand over the number to him.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, he's worn it proudly, that number, and I'm very proud of what
I have
he's
to
done
tell
for
you
the
though,
club. And
He's a
that's
terrific
okay.
player.
That's okay being compared to Cameron
Yes.
Rayner. My dad gets Joe Bugner all the time. Gets people
Ooh,
coming up and
Aussie
say,
Joe.
"You look
Joe
like-"
Bugner?
Yeah, my dad
Aussie
does,
Joe.
and he does look like Joe Bugner. And my mum used to look like what was the politician? Joan Kern.
Joan Kerner.
Joan Kerner. My mum looks like Joan Kerner.
former
not
Premier
wrong.
of Victoria.
Yeah, that's right.
So I come from a famous family. Hey, Brownie.
Well, that is an odd mix.
and that created
so when
this.
you've turned out like this.
Makes sense.
Hey, Brownie, what does a football legend like you have to do during a week of the grand final week? How many talks you? What are some of the random things
Yes.
you're doing?
Yeah, well, I did. I've had a few different things on. I did a thing with Nick Dacos yesterday, and we had to wear ponchos because it was absolutely pouring rain. So, unfortunately for all the Collingwood supporters, no one was able to turn up because it was too wet. So, me, myself and Nick Dacos just stood out in
in
front
the
of
rain.
MCG for an hour wearing ponchos, and no one was there. So anyway, we just twiddled our thumbs, and so that was it. That was interesting. And I went down to Mushroom Records on Tuesday to do the intro for Katy Perry, which is pretty exciting.
did
So I'll be
ya?
on the big screen.
No way.
Introducing Raw, because there was a lot of talk that Raw, she wasn't going to be allowed to sing
Yeah,
Raw
I know.
because they thought it was going to be unfair because there was too much sway towards Brisbane
Yes.
and she sang Raw. And that has been quickly nipped
Yeah.
in the bud. I went down to Mushroom Records. I
Yes.
said, hang on a minute. I saw the set list. I'd have scrubbed out one of the songs. I think I might have scrubbed out Hot and Cold,
Yeah.
replaced it with Raw.
Well, we
so
hear that
she'll
enough
be
with
leading with
MasterChef.
Raw right
Yeah.
off the go.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
exactly
could
right.
she
So-
just whip up a song about a swan or something to make it even?
Well, maybe. Yeah, what has she got? I don't know if she's got anything swan-like, but fireworks will get played.
Yeah.
No question about it. Friday nights, that'll get a run.
Yeah,
won't it?
it's a good one.
Maybe. I kissed a girl. Who knows if that'll get a run in this current day and age. It's all about them and they, but you just never know.
I don't think there has been too many songs with swans in them, which seems to be really lacking.
What a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Song in
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool, though, isn't it? I think this is going to be the biggest one. Haven't we come a long way since Meatloaf?
Yes. Well, that was the lowest of the lows. Like that's what we like to call the bottom of the barrel, and it's gone upwards since. I mean, the Killers were great. Robbie Williams was
Killers were
great.
Robbie great.
Yeah.
Robbie Williams great. Kiss was great.
Yeah.
Last year. Have we found a swan song there?
Yep.
No,
Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa sings a song called Swan Song.
Oh, there you
apparently.
go.
Well,
don't we get her
there
next
is
year?
talk.
Yes.
There is talk, though, that she's bringing out a famous Australian female vocalist to sing a song with her.
That's right. And she gave the clue out that this person's in chains or whatever, which of course is Tina Arena. But
Yes.
then again, it'll be so funny if they pull someone
Yeah, drag Dami in out by the neck in a chain.
So here's Swan Song by Dua Lipa. Let's have a listen.
That's catchy.
Swan Song, Brownie.
Yeah.
It's sorted.
Yeah, I like that.
There we go.
Yeah.
So
She
Raw's
could
back
do
in
a
the
Dua
mix.
Lipa cover.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
do
Dua
it.
Lipa cover, she'd be fine.
No,
Now we're talking.
Absolutely. So-
Now we're going to make you predict who can the Lions get it done this year.
Yes, they can. Of course, I'm going to predict the Lions.
Yeah,
I think
I know.
it'll be a cracker, it'll be a game for the ages. They're both, for just footy fans in general, it's going to be an entertaining game of football because
Yeah.
they play an entertaining brand of football, both teams. There's 2-point margin between the two of them a few weeks ago up at the Gabba.
Yeah.
It's going to be 23 degrees and sunny at the
Perfect.
MCG on Saturday. So look out. It's going to be an absolute beauty.
What
Brisbane by
about-
10 points. Locking in for the Norm Smith medal.
Oh yeah, I mean we're on board with that. But what about your ruckman's out?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's out. Oh, well, that was pretty courageous, wasn't it? Big
I know.
Oscar who's loved by the supporters. His shoulder went out. And then
They popped it back in.
They popped it back in. They
Strapped
said,
him up.
big fella.
Get
we
back
need
out there."
strapped him up. Get back out. We need another 15 minutes from you, big fella. I think he popped it about 2 more
Yeah.
times before he was allowed back in. So
Literally, his
anyway,
arms
he did a
aren't attached to
magnificent
his
job.
body anymore. So that's,
Hey Brownie, have you got
I think
any?
he is.
Have you got a message for Sean McManus, who is currently spending his time as a sports journalist for the week of the AFL Grand Final in Bali?
Why would he go to Bali? Would it be to reminisce the 2000 football trip where the Brisbane Lions and Fremantle Dockers ran into each other and had to stay in the same hotel together? and Sean McManus was best on ground. I was through the lens of a young 18-year-old Jonathan Brown on his first footy trip, wide-eyed, and I saw Sean McManus, the captain. Was he the captain or maybe vice-captain?
He was the captain at some point.
He was the captain of the footy trip anyway, and the way he carried on was absolutely inspiring to a young 18-year-old. From that point on, I thought, I just want to be
It's paved the way
captain of footy trips going forward.
The greatness that has been Jonathan Brown. Yeah.
Exactly. But he, he's probably used to going on holidays in September, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
it's a great point.
So I understand he didn't want to change his routine.
Well, love your work, Brownie. And, good luck to the Lions on Saturday. I reckon they can get it done too. I was very impressed with what I saw the other night. They're good.
Of course they can. It's going to be a great day. No matter what, I don't have to put up with those Collingwood supporters from last year.
Exactly.
That gave me all this sort of feedback about all sorts of different parts of my body and family members.
But then again,
the Sydney supporters being a bit more civilised.
Slightly.
While you're all at the games, though, they'll be breaking into your houses. So
You said it.
They'll have the last laugh.
Yeah, and good luck to my doppelganger, Cam Rayner, as well. Thanks so much, Brownie. Love your work.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.